I'm speaking today with a certified life coach, author, and passionate advocate for the personal transformation through the healing of grief. Husam Alsoufi, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Stephen.
It is my pleasure. Given what people have been going through, I mean, I know it's a few years back, we had COVID, so much loss in COVID, so much grief through all of that. And your book came out in 2025, July, if I'm not mistaken. That's when it
Right.
first came out. I know that Amazon had a little thing for it in August, at the beginning of August, and I missed my opportunity to actually jump on it. But what I want to know before we get into the book is your history. Now, I know that you were an engineer civil engineer in Saudi Arabia for 22 years, but I'd like to understand, take me through what went from there to you writing the book and becoming the life coach and author. Walk me through the experiences. I know it'll take a while, but we have time.
Okay. Okay. So like my story, I don't see my story like apart from other people's story. Like everyone have up and downs in his life. For me, like personally, when I moved to Saudi Arabia, I hit like a good success in my career. And I was, like my business was booming. And my family was around me, and everything was perfect, in every sense, in a way, like. Uh, Unfortunately, I didn't appreciate that at that time. I was always looking for what I don't have, what I have, what has to be fixed, what has to be changed. I didn't look, for the blessing that surrounded me. And I don't know, like I had this bike accident, which crippled me for 1 year. And I had my own, the ego, I didn't control I didn't know that it's the ego. That was me, at that time. So I started like, in a negative energy, dealing with everything is a negative energy. I was complaining a lot. Even though, as I said, like my circumstances was you can say perfect, but yet I was looking always for the dark places where this has to be done like this. This guy should not do this, and so on. And then things started to like my business start to have some problems. Because in Saudi Arabia, like you cannot have your own business at that time. You cannot have it under your own name. So you have to have it under somebody else local name.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, I don't want to go in detail about what happened, but I started losing money, losing my companies. And all of a sudden, I was not able to enter Saudi Arabia. They denied me from entering Saudi Arabia, and I lost like almost everything. And then, I thought I'm in a rock bottom now, and I was fighting everyone and everything, and I was thinking that the universe is against me, and, like I was being punished for something I didn't do. And things when we came to Canada also, like, we didn't have luck. We opened a restaurant. Then we have problem with the restaurant, and we have to close the restaurant, fearing my life, for my family life, and because we got a lot of threats. They're gonna kill us. They're gonna do this. They're gonna do that. And it was a tough period. I was suicidal at that time to that degree, and I didn't see clearly. I was in my peak of ignorance, and eventually, like after a while, I also was shocked to have my wife got cancer.
No.
She got and that was the end for me. Like I said, when she go, I will go. There's nothing left in this life for me to do. Not even my kids. I cannot support my kids. I cannot support myself. I cannot take care of myself. And we struggle like 22 months. with her sickness. She was like, I cannot tell you. She was always laughing, always encouraging me. She was encouraging me. And luckily, after a while from her diagnosed, somebody, like advised me to do some guided meditation.
Mhm.
I used to make laugh of people who do meditation, by the way. Like, what are you doing? Yeah, you're sitting doing meditation, and then when you finish, the problem is the same, everything is the same. You're just fooling yourself, wasting your time. This is not about meditation. But at that time, I didn't have any other choice, so I tried it,
Yeah.
and I felt it helped me at least to sleep better.
Mhm.
During the time my wife was in a hospital doing surgery after surgery. And ever since, I'm meditating. But at that time, I didn't know the benefit of why we meditate, how meditation works.
Right.
I thought it's a luxury. Some people do, like fantasy or something like this.
Sure.
And yeah, after my wife passing, she didn't give up on the, on her sickness. She was always strong. She was always laughing, always joking, always, in love with life. When she passed away, I was like really broken, you know, and and then I don't have anything else to do. Like, I don't want to do drugs. I don't want to do alcoholic, to alcohol. I don't know.
Mhm.
I know it's not going to help me. And I needed something to lift me up. I needed something just to, any reason to hold on in this life. So I continue meditating, and luckily also somebody advised me to go to a retreat, 10-day silent retreat. It's called Vipassana retreat.
Okay.
And that was a changing point in my life, the Vipassana retreat. And then step after step, here I am.
So, so a couple of questions from that, because you were at the peak and the prime, and then you had an accident. Now, that's a motorcycle or a bicycle?
Yes, it's a
Mo-
motorcycle. Yeah.
Motorcycle. Did the negative things that came into your mind, did that happen after the accident? Was it sort of like the self-abuse? You had an accident, why did I have an accident? What is going on? And then everything becomes negative afterwards, or were you
No,
before
no,
that?
not necessarily. I did 9 surgeries,
Yes.
and I was in a wheelchair, but I didn't like went to this analysis. When I get back to my business, I was angry all the time. I was defensive. I want to prove something, which is
Mhm.
not real even. And I hold on to things not do not serve my inner peace, do not serve, but I don't think that the accident has, like shifted me in a way. Like, I don't know. When I went back to my work, I wasn't working. I was neglectful.
Mhm.
I just want to fight with people, something like this.
But it sounds like there was a transition somewhere in your subconscious because of, that you were doing, and then all of a sudden you have this event occur, and it's like it's a turning point, the post in the road that says, now you're going to go this way for a while, and things go downhill for you, and then life just happens, and for you, it was just compounding all of the incidents. You are lucky that somebody said try meditation, and that you had the mind to say, yes, I'm going to try it, as opposed to the other side of your head that said, this is ridiculous. Why on earth would I med? Why? And
Yes, exactly.
whether that's a voice from outside that sort of drives you to try it out, just try it, or whether inside you kind of had a feeling of, I gotta see something. I want to see what it's gonna do, what kind of effect it will have on me.
The beautiful thing, Stephen, about a spiritual path or meditation, yeah, sometimes if we put a goal to be enlightened or awakened, which is we cannot discuss later, it's wrong. We should not have a goal. But the good things about meditation is that you can grape the fruit from day one. Even though some people say you need 5 years, 6 years to be, like whatever you need. I don't. It doesn't matter.
Right.
You're feeling the benefit of meditation from day one, and this is what happened to me. This is why I get stuck with this path. And as you said, I'm lucky. I have the right people. I met the right people. I got the right advice. And yeah, um, by the way, I was at that time, now I can see I was a magnet of negative vibration.
Mm.
I was, like getting from because the universe, when your frequency is in a lack of frequency, the universe gives you so many proof that you are in a lack frequency.
Mm.
So I was negative at that time, and I was bringing negativity to my life. This is like the law of attraction, when you vibrate, when you transmit negative energy, you receive negative energy. And this is what I did.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. I am 100% in agreement with that. And I am 100% sure that when you were in that state, that's what you were exuding. And the universe goes, well, if that's what you want, that's what you get.
Exactly.
And the fact that you went from that to start meditating kind of calms you out in some places, and the universe goes, oh, he's calm. Let's introduce some calm into that. And I have to say, from the description that you gave, you also had in memory a light in your life, even though she was gone. She was a memory of light because, as you said, she clung to life. She exuded life. It was life itself that she was pushing
Yeah.
forward. And you had that. And that was a part of you. And even though she physically was gone, she's still there. And I'm sure she's still
Still
with
there.
you.
And Stephen, I really wanna tell you this. Like when I healed, she became much closer to me. Because at the beginning, when I was suffering, I was pushing her memory away because I just want to breathe, like as far as her memory, inside my head, I'm suffering. So I was pushing her away. I was pushing her memory away. I just want to distract myself with something else, and that was not helpful. When I came to when I healed, let's say, because this is what healings mean in grief, and this is very important, by the way, because some people think healing we need to forget or we need to, overcome grief. No, we just need to integrate love and pain. And when I did this, now I have I have my wife's picture everywhere in my house because I love it. Because when I see it, it thrilled my heart. Before I removed everything, no trace for her, because everything remind me of her will bring me to suffering. So now I can say she's much closer to me. She's sometimes I feel her around, and this is
That,
what healings mean.
that to me, that message right there for anyone who's lost somebody that feels that grief is something you need to push aside, that the memory that brings you the heartache, you need to push that aside because the person was good, you push aside the feelings that you have. The thing is, the grief is that sense of loss that you need to work, as you phrased it, through, not from, but through that feeling of there's a physical loss, but the person's always there. The part that you loved is always there. That's why it's called love. It's in you as opposed to it's an external thing. Love is not
Yeah,
external. It's not something out there. It's something you have inside yourself.
exactly.
And to
Exactly.
accept it, even in loss, it's always there. Like you said, you went from no pictures, I'm forgetting this, to pictures because you want to remember. You want to have that with you all the time because that's the happiness. That's
Yes,
always the happiness. Uh,
yes, correct.
so even a quote from, I think this is a quote from you, that even in your darkest hour, you can discover a light within you brighter than you ever imagined. And that light, that's what we're talking about. That's
Yes.
stepping away from pushing things aside because you want to feel the pain. You want to sort of live in the painful place because you feel like it was done to you and there's a reason it's done to you. So you go, I want this, get everything that makes me happy out of my face, to a moment of, why do I need this? I'm going to work through this to get back to the happy place. I want to get back to the light. And
Yes.
your message is just stunning for people I know and people that I'm aware of that are in this state. They are like you, previous you, where push it away. I don't want to remember. I don't want to think about it. They feel that, oh, the memories of it kind of really hurt. They bother me, but it's work through that hurt to the places where it's good again. You
And
know,
what makes it like worse in our society, the cliches that we work and grieve, like be strong, get over it, be strong for others, for your kids, or be strong for yourself. I don't want to be strong. I cannot be strong. What are you talking about? No. Get yourself busy. It's every advice we receive, it's to run away from our pain.
yes.
It's to neglect the pain. While in my case, I used the pain as my companion, and I used it. I really used it to heal, to know something I didn't know before, even. It's not like I healed from the pain. I healed through the pain from so many things, from so many illusions I was living in, you know? And the breakthrough happened to me, in my healing journey when I distinguish my love to Shahnaz, my wife, from my need to Shahnaz. There is big difference. And unfortunately, we're being raised as love and need is the same thing. So
Mm.
I love you, I need you. Without you, I will be so and so. No, I can love you without the need, because love comes from the spirit, comes from the soul. While while the need, it's an ego thing. I need you to be with me. I'm not a whole, so you are part of me, and this is attachment. Sometimes we get attached to people, sometimes we get attached to material, sometimes, So the breakthrough really happened when I saw the line between the love that I had for her and the need that I used to, she has to be with me in
Mhm.
order to survive. It's me. When she died, how can I be happy again? I cannot, it's all I'm talking about myself, my ego, my personality. So that was a real breakthrough for me, because ego, you can manage ego, you can keep distance between you and your ego by some practices like meditation, and you can keep the love. And this is the beauty of it.
Did that what you just said in a really small frame for people, the love and need part. I see that from a psychological perspective. Children, when they're very small, need their parents, and they feel that as love, right? Because there's my mommy and my daddy, and they need them because they do need them to survive. And as we become adults, we don't really get rid of that aspect of our brain that says love and need are the same thing. That
Yes.
we need the, like, if they're not there, what do I do with myself? How can I be? Because that's your child talking. That's your little inner child that has needs, need to be fulfilled. But as adults, we're not that child anymore. We can be self-sufficient, and it's just accepting the fact that now I can love without making it about need. Need is there. Obviously, there are things that you need in a relationship and so forth, but it's not love. It's the functional aspects of a relationship. And you saying, just separate it. I found the way to separate, find the space between need and love, and take need and say, that was, and it's not there anymore, but the love is still there. And
Yes.
that's
This is the beauty of it.
boom. It's like fireworks going off in my head.
Yeah. 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 And by the way, attachment, as the Buddha said, I'm not Buddhist, by the way, uh, because like Buddhism is like organized religion, and I'm not into this, but I love the Buddha. And the Buddha said attachment is the reason of suffering,
Mm,
the cause of suffering. So attachment, I put it in three categories. First of all, we get attached to material stuff, like whether it's money, whether it's an asset, whether it's a social status, whatever. So we get attached to this, and this is the easiest one, the easiest attachment to disconnect from. The second one, when we get attached to people, we get attached to parents, to spouse, to kids, to sometimes to friends, that we feel the need that for them, for their presence, that as if they are completing us, and this is wrong. You need to
mhm.
you need to know that you are a complete, and then you can share your happiness with others. The third part of attachment, which is the most difficult part, is when we are attached to our ego, to our personality. So the motive for our action and feelings sometimes is our ego. Like, let's say my personality, I'm a good person. I want to do good to people. When I when I do good to people out of my personality, that is, I'm attached to my personality, and my personality is dictating the way I behave. And this will lead to, because if you do even good out of your personality, you're going to expect return from others, some acknowledgement, anything. Okay? You cannot just do good, even your kids. If you're doing good to your kids, I'm a good father, and then after, oh, they just forget about me. They are not, because this will lead to expectation, and expectation will lead to frustration, no matter what. While doing good just for the sake of your inner peace, this is the right way to act and to feel and to do, your daily, to have your daily life. It's always should be out of our inner peace. What serves us really serves our inner core, not our personality. So attachment with personality is the most difficult part of getting loose of our kind of attachment. So material, people, and then your own personality.
All right.
Now I'm still working on trying to separate myself from my personality, to get validation from people, to do what I think I'm tend to do, or this is my role in life. So I don't get attached to my role in life, even as a coach. As a coach, I don't do coaching to prove something to myself or to prove something to people. I just do it because I love to do it, because I want to do it. I'm not attached to the result.
So it's giving without expectation. This is what you're saying.
Exactly.
And that's the hardest thing in the world to do, because that's ingrained in us as again, as children. You do something, there's an expectation of result, right? It's you do something bad, you're going, you do something good and you're going, where's my gold star? Where's my cookie? I want.
Exactly. Yeah. There is a reward, there is a punishment. But life is not about reward and punishment. Life is just happening.
Yes. Absolutely. Oh, man, we should have like hour-long conversations. I absolutely love this. This is phenomenal.
Yeah.
That is the most, I can understand how that's the most difficult. I'm going in my own head thinking, do I go through life doing things without expectation? And there's a lot of times that I do. I speak my mind. I speak truth. I don't lie to people, because what's the purpose of a lie? There's no value in it. I understand the white lies that you say, because if somebody comes up and says, does this make me look heavy? You obviously don't want to hurt their feelings. So you'll say, you might want to ask somebody who's more important in your life that question. I won't give them the right answer, but I certainly won't give them the wrong answer either. The fact is that some things we can do without expectation if you've got the mind to say, I'm good with myself. But then there's other ones, and I can see them in myself that I do, and my immediate desire for doing them is, what am I going to get as a response? What's the response I'm looking for? I'm looking for that validation from an external locus, and I don't need to. Is what we're getting at is that you don't need to, and that's where, as you say, suffering comes from. Because if you don't get it, you're upset. Oh, why didn't they like me? Why didn't they smile?
To look for the source of this feelings, it is always indicate that you feel lack something in your you are not whole. So what validation from people, compliment from people will make me complete. This is where you have to work on yourself.
Yes.
Even somebody insulted you and you got angry, you need to work on yourself, not to change the person. Because he's reflecting something in you. If he told you some nonsense, you won't be mad. If he told you you are not efficient in your work, you get maybe angry because it touches something inside you.
That you think. Yeah.
The most important thing is to work in ourselves. We are whole and we can be happy. We don't need reason to be happy even. We don't need somebody to complete us to feel happy. Yes, we have to discover our happiness, and then we look for someone to share our happiness with.
Yes, I'm 100% behind that. And there's statements where they say, if you are doing the things that make you happy, if you are doing the things that naturally make you happy, not forced happiness, the universe rewards you by bringing people into your life that feel the same as you do, that exude the same color of happiness. And
100%.
Yeah, and well, I mean, I know I need to work because my universe isn't doing that yet, but maybe it is. Maybe it is if I accept, as you say, accept the things that are around us and say, there's nothing wrong with this. This is good. This is good. This makes me happy. I sit on the deck and I have, I have a drink of water and I'm watching the birds fly around. And I go, I could be happy in this. This is good.
Happiness is our true being. Happiness is our essence. Like being not happy need a reason.
Mm.
Thoughts. It's going to be a thought. No matter how you search for it, it's a thought at the end of the day.
Mhm.
Just going back to our original self, we found happiness. This is why we don't need things to make us happy. We don't need the achievement or to fix something. Stephen, what's really unfortunate is we always look for happiness in the next corner. Like when I graduate, when I find work, when I get married, when my kids will grow up, and then we look back and then we lost our life waiting for happiness. Happiness
Yes.
is not tomorrow. Happiness is not when you achieve something or you fix something. Happiness is right here, right now.
Yeah.
You can go inward and search for it. This is why we meditate. We don't meditate just to calm the mind. Of course, we meditate to calm the mind, but we meditate to discover this divine being that inside us, that we are. Our true essence is happiness. So why I'm searching for happiness in the wrong place? I'm
Mm.
searching in the outside. I'm searching with other people. I'm searching with some achievement, career, or whatever.
Mhm.
This is the miss. And when you meditate, you discover this by yourself. You don't need somebody to tell you anything. You just find your happiness inside, and then you can deal with life regularly. We still need ego, by the way. I'm not saying we need to get rid of it. We need ego to have a role in life. But when we have distance between ourselves and the ego, this is where magic happens.
I agree. Our conversation has brought me to a mental state. I remember when I was younger, we were on a camping trip in Cape Breton, and I went out all by myself early in the morning and went for a walk out onto a rock looking at the ocean. And I sat down, very quiet, sound of the waves sort of calming everything down, and I watched the sun come up in the water like it wasn't there, and I watched it come all the way up off the top of the water. It was such a peaceful moment, and I felt so, like blissfully unaware of everything else that was going on. It was like I was a baby again, and everything was new, and it just felt really, really, really good. I would love to have that all the time, that sensation, that
You can
feeling.
do that in your office. You can do that while driving. You can do that while you're brushing your teeth. Just be present. This is mindfulness. You know, yeah, I understand the beauty of the scene, catch your eye, and like anchor to the now. It was like an anchor to the now. But
Mhm.
by some practice, you can do that while you're washing the dishes. You can feel that. This is life. Anything else is the thought stream. And you know, people in general, we live life, our life, 3% of the life. 3%. 97% we are living our own mind thought, the stream of thoughts,
Right.
and we skip life
Mm.
itself. Like always, there is something more important than looking at the sky to solve this problem, to face this issue. No, it's not, because this is illusion, and what you are in now is the reality. So now is the only reality in the universe. There is nothing but now. Even when we think about the future, we think in the now. When we
Yes,
think about the past, even the past happened in the now, and the future, what's so-called future, will happen in the now.
that's right. You'll only experience it now.
So
It doesn't
this,
matter how far in the future. When you get there, that's now. And until you get there, it's not now. In your head, you think it is, but no. When you're there, that's the now. And
yeah,
if you're not experiencing and feeling and enjoying the now, like you said, 30 years go by and you went, wait, I forgot all of that. That's all run past me while I was thinking about where I was going to be in 30 years. And
yeah,
that's a waste.
we miss life.
Yeah. I have to ask you a couple of very, very detailed questions on the process that you use because from the general sense of things, unbelievable. Like I said, I would sit and talk to you for hours, and I'd get things, sort things, because
I'm
you
ready.
have this. It's a way of communicating common sense in just the experience of life that makes me feel, I could do this, I could be happy. But you talk about things like the trap of false identity, and I want to know what that is. I kind of have an idea now from our conversation what that might be. The misunderstanding of the nature of love, that we talked about, because it's a separation of need and love. And I'm assuming that that's what the misunderstanding of that is.
Yeah.
And then the healing power of stillness. Now, are we talking about meditation? And I'll let you get to that one as the second response, since we've talked about love. But first, talk to me about the traps of false identity. Is this ego that we're talking about, or is this the
Yes,
desire to be?
it's the identity that we're always trying to present ourselves to the people around us, that this is me, like this is my character, and this is the way I want people to see me. And we think that we created this identity, or this is us. The identity is us. While in the matter of fact, identity is something like, it's like programming. From our childhood, we have certain beliefs, certain habit, certain what is good, what is bad, what is right, what is wrong, what is like, and you can see, like, in every group there is one direction. They think in a certain direction, and we think this is our personality. So we draw our personality based on, especially when we are like 4 or 5 years old, when we start distinguish our individuality.
Right.
Like before that, we're just happy. Something make us cry, we cry a little bit, and then we're happy again. This is where we should be all our life, by the way. But the problem is when we start to say this is mine, and this is me, and this will create the concept of this identity. The identity is false because it's changeable. It is not who we are. It's just the role that we are playing in this life. And that can be changed anytime. Like for me, I was this little kid who's have it all, and then I am the engineer, successful engineer, and then I'm grieving, and then I'm a handyman. So personality is not something, we still need personality. We still need the ego to have, to function in life, but it's not who we really are. We're much, much way bigger than our personality.
Right.
The problem is when we believe that the personality is us and we have to defend this personality. Sometimes we defend this personality and it affects us in a bad way. But still, our personality is more important because this is who we are. So you will see, like, everything. I'm gonna go back to meditation. Because meditation is where you tell your mind, sit, you're not the boss anymore. There is a new sheriff in town, sit. Because this inner voice always tries to defend this personality. They should not talk to you like this. You should be like this. Things should happen this way. And this chatter, this is what makes us suffering. It's not the event itself, it's the way we perceive the events. So big part of how we perceive the event is how we think that our personality is.
Right.
Some people think I'm a strong person. Some people think, no, I'm a good mother. This is also personality. This is also an ego. Like, I'm a devoted mother. You don't need to be a devoted mother. You just need to be a loving mother. That's it. Worrying about your kids doesn't make you, doesn't make anything better. It just fulfills the personality that you draw in your mind, that I'm a very devoted mother. Okay, you chose this role, so you have to suffer. So false personality, what I mean by false personality is something we created, and some people, they will pay their life to defend this kind of personality, even though it's illusion.
Right. So would you say then that false identity is based upon social mores and your upbringing and I guess things that you've read, basically everything that's influenced you from the outside world, you've created a context that then communicates to that, right? So
Yes.
if you were brought up in a monastery your entire life, your view of the world, your context of the world would be monastic. You would see it and respond to the world that way, but that's a false view of
This is just a
reality.
belief system planted within us. And we created this personality. We think this is who we are. It's not
So
who
it's
we are. It's just you can when you have this distance through meditation, when you have this distance from your personality, you can be the observer of this personality and see what's helping you, what's affecting you in a bad way, what is
Mhm.
good for your well-being and what is not, by just keeping this distance. So I call it false because we need to be aware of this personality. It's not us, it's just something we created or something we accumulated. Let's say it's better.
Yes.
Exactly like what you said. It's out of the memory, the projections, the beliefs, the even religion, even habits, everything formed this personality. And we defend it. We live our life defending this personality. No, just a role you're playing, just in experience life. This is your role here, is to experience life.
So when you meditate, do you extrapolate or extricate yourself from context? Because my understanding of how we deal with the world is through our own personal context. We are who we are. We see the world, understand the world. When things are said, we respond to it through our own context. That buffer that sits in front of it. You know, if somebody said to me, "Oh, you're fat," I have a context response to that because of things in my life that have been around that. So meditation allows you to sort of pull yourself back from context and say, I'm responding to that because of this. I feel this way because of that. And by moving the context out of the way, we can look at the world and go, that's just an expression of somebody else's context of us. That's just an expression of an event that has nothing directly to do with us, but is simply something that happens, right? You know, a car accident is called an accident for a reason. Nobody actually got on the road with a picture of you saying, I'm going to hit this guy's car this
Yeah,
afternoon. And yet, in our own personal context, it's like, this was done to me. This was done to me. And
yeah, yeah.
so you're saying meditation can actually pull you off context and allow you to see the world without?
Meditation lose the grip of the mind to our, like let's say when we meditate, we are slowing the waves of the mind. Um, Usually we have beta waves, and most of our actions, feelings, whatever, the way it comes out of our subconscious mind. Most of it is 95%. So with meditation, when you slow your mind waves from beta to theta, let's say, there is a gate open between the analytic mind and the subconscious mind, where you can change in the subconscious mind. When you can enter the subconscious mind and change something which is not good for you, which is not serving you. The most important things for me about meditation is training the mind that he's not your boss. Stephen, we think 60,000 thoughts per day. 60,000 thoughts. This is the science said that. This is more than the second that we are awake, by the way. And most of these thoughts are nonsense. Just the ego trying to protect things or to defend things or to. So when we lose the grip of these thoughts, we learn not to send our attention to the thought. The thought will come, no problem. It's not a big deal. But sending attention to the thoughts or getting identified with the thoughts, what makes our life hard. So by meditation, we're training the mind that, no, I'm not going to listen to you every time you chatter here, every time you tell me something. No, I'm here and you work for me. I'm not your slave. This is what we are telling the mind. Now when we do that, by time, yeah, the mind lose the grip, lose the power. And this inner voice that inside us always tell us what to do or comment about things or analyze things will slow down. And then we can see more clearly. We can live more peacefully. So meditation has so many beneficial benefits, but mainly, yeah, it works by just, and I call meditation mastering the mind, like not letting your mind, because the more you're depressed, the more thought you have, the more you're under the mercy of these thoughts.
Yeah.
While remember when you said you were in a beautiful scene, there was no thought. You were only in the scene.
Yeah. Exactly. That there was no thinking going on at all. I had no brain activity, which is unique because mine runs 24/7. When you say 60,000 thoughts a day, I have probably 60,000 thoughts a minute. Um, so to be in the moment with nothing, the quiet was so overwhelming. And yet it wasn't anything that shocked me. It was kind of like sitting there. I could have
Yeah.
stayed there who knows how long, but it didn't. I mean, I know it must have been almost an hour, given the fact that you went from no sun to a sun probably 6 inches off the horizon, maybe a little more. That's a good length of time, but I don't recall the time. It was just
Yeah.
being.
Because there is no time in the now. Literally, there is no time. It's just the now. It's always fresh. There's
Ah,
no past and there's no future. It's just the now. You
but
know,
that's
what takes us out from the now is our thoughts. And this is the habit. To break this habit, we need to meditate.
so I'm going to throw science at you for a second. What it sounds like is we're using meditation to alter neuroplasticity because we reward ourselves when we're in a state of being negative when we have a negative thought or a negative event occurs and we say, see, there it is. And our brain gives us endorphins and we go, yay, I'm negative. Woohoo. And it increases over time because the more negative things happen, the more negative you feel. And that's a yay for your brain.
Snowball.
It snowballs. Meditation pulls us back from that and says, I'm not rewarding that anymore. I'm
Yes.
not going to think about that anymore. My rewards will come when something positive. When I see the now, when I'm present in the now, I will reward myself. And then your brain chemistry starts to fire up when, oh, it's a beautiful sunrise and I'm not thinking about anything. Bing, I get an endorphin hit. And that changes your brain's response mechanisms. And as you say, over time, you get the immediate response when you do it the first time because you experience that positivity and that sense of no self. I don't need to be here. I am here. And your brain rewards that. And you go, oh, there's a little chemical fire off on my head. I like that. And as you do it over time, it alters the brain chemistry. So you're not rewarding negative feeling. You're not rewarding it more endorphin rushes because something happens. You don't see it as a negative event or a positive event. It's an event. So there's no brain response. And you go, oh, okay, I'm not rewarding my chemistry. That's the science behind neuroplasticity. And it sounds like that meditation and those words that you are saying that make me feel good are creating that state. You're altering neuroplasticity in the brain to not reward negative, to not reward sad, to not reward the ego rush of, I got what I want, I'm doing what I'm doing, there's my future and I got there. It's more of a, I'm in the now and I get a reward when I'm in the now, when I'm present, when I'm calm, when I'm not firing off 60,000 thoughts and responding to them.
That is so true. That is so true. Like the spiritual path is like going to reality. Sometimes, before I was thinking, meditate. When we meditate, we run away from reality and to our illusion and close our eye. No, it's the contrary. When we meditate, this is where we're experiencing real life because we're not in our thought stream, so we're experiencing the sounds, the sensation. We're experiencing our breath because you cannot think about your next breath or your past breath. You have to be with the current, with the now. So breath is like anchor, sensation is like anchor. So meditation is a way, as I said, to lose the grip of the mind in order to reach a state where we live mindfully. if you are able to live mindfully, like living mindfully, what I mean by living mindfully is when you're doing something, you are in this something, not 5 minutes before or after. When you stay in that thing, this is mindfulness. If you can do that, you don't need even to meditate, because this is our truth, and this is our inherited right to just feel life and experience life, whatever we are doing. So meditation is like a practice to get us back to where we should be, or where we have to be in a real life.
But
yeah.
I was going to say, trying to be mindful every moment as it occurs, the difficulty in that because of the way our brain works, that we do
Because
think
of the
about something.
habit. Just the habit.
Really?
No, it's, like ourself, there is no comparison between the self and the mind. The self is like vast sky, and the mind is like small frequency. There's no competition. But the problem is with our attention, where we direct our attention.
Mhm.
Are we directing our attention to this small frequency that's happening in our brain, or to the vast, space that is us? So we master, the art of where we send our attention. Are we sending our attention to our thought, the thought that's coming? And when we give them attention, because energy follow attention, so we are giving them energy, and they grow, and we are helping them to be more and more and more and more. While just if we send our attention to life as it is, to our body sensation, to our breath, this is totally, there is a breakthrough here. You will know it by yourself. You can feel it. You don't need to read about it even.
So it's as though we are stepping back. We want to become what we were, that not naive. What am I looking for? The innocence of original childhood, where every experience is new. Every experience is exciting because, oh, look, a white wall. Oh, look, a piece of paper. Everything is, you see the look on a child's face when he just looks around and it's as though that's where we want to be, because every experience should be seen as new. Every experience should be something. But then I have a really hard question for you to answer. You may not even have an answer for this, because it popped into my head, and I know I shouldn't be listening to my head. I should be in the moment. But
no.
the purpose of memory and the purpose of future thought. If we are beings as we are, why do we have memory? Why do we think to a future? What roles do those play in our actual existence? Because it's a part of us. We have memory for a reason, and we have thoughts of the future for a reason. If we were meant to just be in the now, we would have no thoughts we'd be guppies. We'd have a 4-minute attention.
Very deep question. Yeah, I see what you mean. But memory is our experience. Memory is what we learned from life. When we say we should not focus on the past, that doesn't mean we should forget our past. Because everything we gain from this life is in this past. It's foolish to forget the past. So past and memory, and by the way, memory is so many kinds of memory, like so many kinds of memory.
Yes,
water has memory. With you. Water has memory.
Yes.
You can carry memory from one life to another.
Yes.
So memory is like, it's not, I don't want to discuss the karma, because karma is the consequences of your action. But memory is something define our ego or our personality, which we have to carry on in this life. Memory is, like if we eat a cow, like a beef, where we have something inside to remember that we are a human, and this will grow to a human. Like this is, memory is essential. Without memory, we cannot live. But we don't need to be attached to the emotion related to these memories, because every memory trigger an emotion that accompanied it. And the more the emotion, the greater the emotion, the more vivid we remember something.
Yes.
So there is a relation between But we cannot say we don't want memory or we don't need memory. Memory is a very essential part of our life, very essential part of our character, our ego that we need to live. And it's hold all of our experiences. Now, future, we also say we don't think about tomorrow. Be in the now. But that doesn't mean you cannot plan for tomorrow. The secret is do not get attached to the outcome of your planning. Enjoy this moment, enjoy the trip, enjoy the journey itself. Let's say I want to have a target to, I don't want to go to material stuff like, say, $1 million or something, anything.
Climb Mount Kilimanjaro. There you go. I want to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. Let's say that one.
Yeah. So we can put a plan for the future, like tomorrow I'll do this, after 2 weeks I'm going to do that. And then we enjoy the trip, we are not focused on the outcome, whether we are there or not, whether we're going to achieve it or not. This is where we postpone our life to the future, which doesn't exist, the future.
Right.
Like I said, it's always now.
Yeah.
So we need the future to think about the future, to plan about the future without getting attached to the outcome. And we need our past, our memory, because all of our experiences are there.
So I'm gonna rephrase this in a musical sense.
Yeah.
That memory is the resonant note that occurs. You're playing a cello and you hit that note and it vibrates, and that vibration carries off. Even though the note's no longer being played in your head, you still hear that lovely reverberating note in the background. That's memory.
Yeah.
The anticipation of the next note is our future. We don't know what it's going to be, but we should live with the excitement of there's something coming. I think people say,
Curious of it.
yeah, life is what happens when you make plans. So that's the way to look at life, is that, yes, there's going to be a new note. There's going to be another, stanza come forward, and it'll be absolutely beautiful, but you don't know what it is. And just that anticipation is fine. Having that within you saying, but not knowing, not pushing it, not saying, I know it's going to be this note, I know it's going to sound like this, because if it doesn't, you then regret. You have feelings of, oh, why didn't it do the right thing?
Yeah.
And the memory note is the one that you carry with you and go, I remember that sound. It's beautiful, and it's walking me into the day. I hear the note that's being played, but I remember the reverberations of the notes previously. That's a musical interpretation that came to mind.
This is beautiful.
I'm going to take this into meditation. I will admit to you, I have never done meditation. I have actually never done it. Although you'll probably tell me you were meditating when the sun came up. I was sitting on the rock.
Exactly. Like you
but I never thought of
meditating.
Yeah, I never thought of it that way. I just simply sat in the moment and was lost in it. I will admit, I was completely lost in what was going on. There was nothing around me. I didn't know if anything was around. Somebody could have walked up behind me. I wouldn't have known it because I was just there.
Yeah. You were lost from your character. You were in the reality.
Mm-hmm. I would love to be there. Like I said, I would love to be able to just simply step into that periodically and go, okay, I'm just going to go there. And be
my advice, you need to start meditating.
Oh,
like invest in this. It's the best investment ever anybody can do. We struggle our entire life for achievement, for career. And usually when we want a car or a fancy car, it's not the car that we want. We want the sensation that comes with owning this car. Mm-hmm. Or if we are afraid of something, we're not really afraid of what's going to happen. We're afraid of the sensation that we're going to experience. So everything is about sensation. Now, we struggle and we put effort in life, like a huge effort to achieve something. Why? To get a body sensation. You can get this body sensation by meditation. You don't need all of this. So the best investment, I don't, I'm not encouraging people not to work or not to do their stuff. No, again, we need to do this without making it the source of our happiness or our misery. Because this is separate. Like we can perform in life, we can play our role without forgetting that it's only a role. Mm-hmm. We can preserve our inner peace and happiness. And this can be done by meditation. So you don't need to struggle in life. You just need to invest a couple of minutes, 15 minutes, whatever, in your daily life, and you will feel the difference. It's tangible. It's you can feel it. It's
So I
not
have to ask,
something after death.
how do you start? Like, I mean, you don't just sit down and say, okay, I'm going to meditate. There has to be some means of starting. What is that process to introduce oneself into meditation? What?
Meditation is about doing nothing. This is when you say I want to do meditation, you are in the wrong place.
Oh, okay. Okay, good.
No,
That's good
like
to
you
know.
cannot do meditation. Meditation is like be, just be. Let meditation comes. You cannot do meditation. Meditation is when you sit, just sit quietly. You don't need to sit even cross legs or put a candle or anything. Just sit quietly. Every time you remember, whenever you remember, just quietly and try to anchor yourself with the present moment by your breath, by whatever you are feeling in your body, by a sound that you're hearing. But don't make judgment like this sound is ugly or beautiful or no, just let your ears hear whatever they want. Just let be. This is meditation.
Hmm.
Now, when you put a cross-legged and let's say uncomfortable sitting and you have pain, if you just try to be the observer, that is where you get rid of your sankaras, your trapped energy in the body. This is where you can really get rid of all of the trapped energy. When you sit and you become the observer of what's happening. So meditation is not complicated. It's not, and some people, like they think, oh, I cannot meditate, thought after the another, this is a failure. No, it's not. This is a complete success. Even though thought takes you from one place to another, when you notice the thought, just go back to your breath. Now you can observe, now you are aware of your thoughts. This is the reason we meditate. It's not a failure, it's a complete success. Now, by time, again, the mind will lose the grip because there will be no attention and no energy coming to the thought. It will slow down by itself. But don't consider like any place, anywhere. If you are sitting, waiting in a doctor, let's say, waiting room, you can sit and meditate and just anchor yourself with anything in the present. For me, I still meditate at least 1 hour a day in the morning, at least. I know it's my biggest investment. Nobody can take that away from me, I know where I've been and I know where I am now. I've been in a place like I lose hope in life. I really hate life. I hate people as well. Not anybody, but I used to do this. Now I wake up happily and I sleep happily. When I walk at the street, like I love everyone. I really love everyone. I'm not pretending. And when I say to someone, good morning, and he look at me like this, I just feel compassion for him because he has problems. Definitely he has problems. You know, I just, it's just like the one direction love. And this is all because we are out of the grip of our thoughts.
I absolutely love that expression of it. The fact that you run into people that give you a look and you don't assume your own context upon them about what that look means. You simply say they must be in a different place. They're in a different
Yeah.
place, and that's what that comes from. It comes from a different place that is not where I am.
And I send them love.
Yeah.
I send them love. They don't need to hear anything from me, you
Mhm.
know? But most people are, they smile, they tell me, people are lovely, when you are in this state, it's not only that you are attracting positive people, but really people are lovely people. Like the people just want somebody to smile to them, just someone to tell them good stuff, good things this is life. Life is much, much easier than what we think. Much easier. It's so simple. We are complicating life. Like I have to achieve, I have to do, I'm behind, I'm ahead.
But it's to get yourself away from that complexity, to extract yourself from the complexity and say, life is the moment. It's now. There's no, like you said, there's no future. It comes when it comes. And when it comes, it's now. And
Now
there's no
again.
past. When it was now.
Yeah.
It's getting yourself away from the thought that the past is the past, the future is the future, and I'm now here, but I'm going to be there, and I'm going to be here, and I was there, and I'm that level of shutting that noise off and simply saying, but I'm here
I'm here. I
is
exist. I'm here.
it's
Yeah.
to say that's easy. It's easy to think of. It's hard to actually get yourself to get there, I think, for a lot of people because they have so much baggage. They
It's
have
the
so much.
habit. It's just the habit.
Now, and how many hours does it take to form a habit? Wait, let's look at this.
So
10,000 hours to form a habit, something like that? Yeah, no.
it's years and years of getting identified with our thought, thinking that our thought is us,
Hmm.
thinking that this inner voice is us, while it's not.
Yeah.
This is, I call the mind the garbage bin of society. And the same way your lungs produce,
Carbon dioxide, yeah.
the same way your mind producing thought. These are not for you. Just breathe it out. Don't get attached to these thoughts and say, this is me. It's not you.
True, true. I mean, there's a chunk of it that is memory, rehashing memories. And I know there are a number of people that that's a difficult process to stop, rehashing memories. If I'd have done this better, if this had been different, if I'd asked this question. And getting back to grief and loss, so many people look at an experience and say, but if I'd have done this, if I'd have said this, I should have said, and as my mother used to say when we were in Ireland, the wee shouldas live in the forest. The wee shouldas, they live in the forest and they don't, you shouldn't hang on to them because they're not real. They're little fairy folk, the wee shouldas, because you can't go backwards in time. There is no time machine that's been built that says, yeah, you can go back and do something different. You can't.
No,
It's
it's destiny. The past is always destiny.
It's a roadway, and as you said, life is a journey that you need to experience as it's happening. There is no destination except the transition from being what we are to what we're going to be when we shuffle off this mortal coil. We don't know what's after, and for all you know, it's another journey. It's a continuation of the
And
journey.
we don't need to know even.
No,
You know,
no,
we don't
asking the
need.
question is foolish.
The problem, we need to analyze life. We need to understand life. We don't. You just need to live life.
Hmm.
Life is there just to live it, not to, because you can notice that the people who think why we're here, why the purpose of life, they are not happy people. If
Hmm.
you're happy, you won't ask these questions. For me, the purpose of life is one thing: to live life, to experience life, not to make life better, not to make not because making life better is a goal in the future.
Hmm.
It's a mind thing. So the purpose of life is just to come and experience life and to remember who we are.
Hmm.
Because we forget who we are. We think what we are is our personality.
Absolutely love this. The message is bold and clear. We've talked about the contents of your book, but I definitely want to get people on it. Your book, Healing Through Pain, A Journey Through Suffering Toward Inner Peace. I think that the vast majority of human beings need to buy your book. They need to read it because the message is loud and clear. We need to be a population of the present. Too many people live with an ideology, live with an id that says they are this. We experience this in the country that you live in. Huge separation of individuality simply based on what they think. And it has nothing to do with what they feel as
No,
an individual, as a person within themselves. If everybody felt that way and lived in the moment, there'd be none of this. There'd be absolutely none of this going on, but they don't.
exactly.
They do not. And
Yeah, yeah. Please continue. I'm enjoying what you say, what you're saying.
it's that the human experience is based on a memory and a past. All of our human experiences, all of us as individuals, if we want to call ourselves that, is based upon our past and our memory of pasts. And if we simply look at that as a roadway to a journey in life where every day is what's important and not where we're going or where we were, we'd be better off that way. As a global entity, we'd be better off simply accepting the fact we live here because we are here.
Yeah,
And what we are is not important. It is who we are. We are an entity of experience. We need to experience our now and appreciate our now and not worry about anything else.
Yeah.
And your message is there. That is your message. And people need to live that
For the
way.
globe to live in peace, we just need to drop our belief systems.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, it's very hard for so many people. I know that. Like, my belief system is like, this is my ID, this is me. But unfortunately, no, it's not you. Your belief system is just some thoughts planted in your, some ideas, some concepts, some whatever planted within you. So you are performing accordingly. And belief system gonna clash, by the way, unfortunately. Here's a belief system, here a belief system. It's meant to clash because there is a desire and there is like me better than you better than me, when things like this. So we can,
Yes.
so what we need to do is just we need to go back inward. If everybody go back inward, we can live heaven here.
Yeah.
Heaven, we can live heaven here on. I'm not exaggerating, by the way. Imagine if we are just living the moment, full of love. There is no comparison. There is no, like struggle in any way.
That's
We
right.
just live in peace,
Mhm.
and our mind is free. There is no 60,000 thoughts. The mind work according to our wish, to our, and then we can build the pyramids again because our mind is free.
Yeah.
It's not the mind is like, they say that we are not using 5% of our mind. I say like most of our thinking is out of our subconscious mind, and there was always thoughts that prevent us from creativity.
Mhm.
When we go back to our inner self, we free the mind, and then the mind will become creative. Then we can build another pyramid. We can build more beautiful or bigger pyramids. I don't know.
But what we would build would be for the benefit of everybody. You'd never build something for the benefit of yourself. There would be no group that says this is for us and not for you, because everybody would be thinking what we do together. We do it for the moment, we do it for the now, and every now is that comes will be now, and we will be better for it. I
Yeah.
mean, health related to all of the things related to the mind, and there's a whole ton of psychosomatic effects because we grind and dwell and churn, and it affects us physically. And to free up the mind frees the body from being affected by all of that. There's so many split off patterns to that
Yeah.
core ideology, which is get off of the whole pattern of I'm going to say a really heavy word, self-destruction through our desires to be either backwards or forwards in our head, and shut that noise off and be the now. If you are just now, you're not experiencing things that'll tear you apart. It's
Yeah.
now, you know.
I can't agree more. Beautiful.
I can fully understand. Yes, we still have our physiology, and yes, things still affect us. But if you recall your wife, she was happy and living in the now and in life right up till the end, and that's because she experienced it that way.
Yeah.
Our ends are our ends. There is no, way we're going to fix that one. There's no, like I said, no time machine to go back and make something better. And thinking what will happen in the future is irrelevant because it's the now. So if your time is your time, that's it. That's when it goes, and you move on to the next and
And
experience it with happiness.
in the now, there is no suffering, by the way. There is no stories even, because stories need beginning, a middle, and the end. But in the now, there is no stories. There's just life.
Mhm.
So there is no misery, no anxiety, no nothing of these. We created this sickness and illness, like autism, like depression, like this is all about not living in the now.
Yeah. That's the extremes of what brain chemistry has done to us. Like I said, you give that neuroplasticity reward system to the negative, you push that to the farthest extent. Now serotonin levels are altering, and your brain chemistry is altering, and you get into depression states, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Probably over a period of time, you could even affect those. So people that are depressed that get into meditation, that start looking at the reward system of not looking at the downside of things and simply living in the now, may alter their brain chemistry to the point where serotonin replacements aren't required because their brain heals itself. It calms itself. It stops rewarding and overemphasizing the development of the neurochemicals that cause that state. I'm not a doctor. I'm not saying that will happen. So please don't, wade
Yeah.
in and say that didn't happen for me. But I'm saying there's that possibility, given the understanding we currently have with neuroplasticity, that you never know what may happen. But
Yeah.
as I said, people need to buy your book, and I will again sell it again. It's The Healing Through Pain: A Journey Through Suffering Towards Inner Peace. It is a phenomenal read, and being
Thank
able
you
to
very
speak
much,
with
Stephen.
you, Husam, has been an absolutely eye-opening experience for myself. I think I'm going to have to start meditating. I may reach out to you possibly and let you know how my
Anytime,
journey's going.
anytime, please.
Because this has been a really, I won't say entertaining because it's more educational for me, that some of our conversation has led to connections to thought that I hadn't had before. And yes, I know it's not the thought that I really want, it's more the experience. But I think I probably will start what you've been doing all along, which is the meditation, just to see if I can get myself back to that rock in Cape Breton. I would just to have that experience
Yeah,
again
trust
would
me, you
be.
can. This is your inherited right, by the way. Be the now. This is our. You just need to get rid of the new habit that we developed, and you're there.
uh, it would I would be elated to find myself there again, just to have that moment. It's like saying, I want that one more time, just to get myself to that state of mind again
Don't
would
put
be.
it as a target.
Yes,
Target is in the future. Just put it as a reference.
yes,
I wanna
exactly.
just a reference, but just sit and meditate and feel the joy.
Yeah. Well, that's it. I will never experience that again. As you say, life in change is not a target, it's a journey. My journey will probably bring me to and possibly beyond that experience.
Exactly.
If
Maybe
it works
something
well,
more beautiful.
exactly. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. But not target. We don't have targets in spirituality. No goals, no targets. Just be, you
And
know?
experience the journey
Yeah.
in the now. The journey's
Yes.
the now.
Yeah.
Every now that comes along will be the experience that I have. So again, absolutely appreciate the conversation, Hussam. I hope we can do this again. I would really love to do this again. It's
I'm ready anytime, Stephen. I
a
enjoy talking to you.
pleasure. I
My
enjoyed
honor
it.
was, to have me in your show. Thank you
Oh,
very much.
no, it's my pleasure. And again, I will see if we can get you back on to talk about other ideas. Maybe we can start sharing some things that we want to focus on in our conversations. But it's like a breath of fresh air. I'm going to be, when I'm offline now, I'm going to be actually contemplating what are the things I need to start setting myself up for. That period of the day that I'm going to separate out and say, this is mine. I'm just going to shut everything off and walk through this.
Yeah.
But an absolute pleasure. So thank you so much for being a part of the show. I absolutely loved our conversation.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Stephen. Thank you. Take care. And call me anytime you want.
I definitely will. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Bye for now.
Bye. Bye. Bye.